If you've been anywhere near the internet in the past 2 days, you already know Cat Williams got that sucker on fire. For everything he said. Kevin Hart, Rickey Smiley, Cedric the Entertainer. Although it was a good and entertaining interview, Cat went wild. Some things came off as cap, but other things he kind of forced you to be like, well, he might have a point. He said Rickey Smiley is not a great actor. He said Rickey Smiley can only play one role, which is women, right? So that's why he dresses in women a lot. He said he put in his contract, specifically put in his contract, that if he was to ever make a movie again with Rickey Smiley, he would have to wear a dress. Rickey Smiley. I don't know exactly what he was doing when he brought that man on there. Some things were too capish. Bruh, 3,000 books a year? Respectfully. Bruh, you run a 4-1 at 52? Respectfully. I respect the man. He is one of the greatest comedians. And I'm saying, I just don't understand. But in his defense, he said that they went up there first and spoke about him. I'm about to react to Rickey Smiley's response.
Shannon Sharpe was telling him the story of some of the behind the scenes from Friday After Next. Let's start with that. When I went out there, let's just go back. In 2000, I was the host of BET Comic View and in the season 2004. I also worked on this show called Live from LA. That was my first job with BET. And that's where I met Ice Cube, if I'm not mistaken. And Ice Cube was like, hey, man, I like your work. I want to do some stuff with you. I want to put you in some movies. And Ice Cube started putting me in movies, which really helped my career. I was in All About the Benjamins, but of course, when they changed the ending of it, that part didn't make any sense. But then he put me in Friday After Next. And just for clarification, I went out to audition for Friday After Next as Money Mike, not the Santa Claus. And that is the honest God truth. I had no reason to go on there and to go on Shannon Sharpe's show and lie about any of that. That's what I auditioned for, was Money Mike. And I guess the producers, Cube and everybody saw something different. And I think that Money Mike character, Special K, was going to come off as kind of like
just a guy who was hanging around in the strip mall who was just kind of being annoying and almost like a crackhead type of character that was
right.
Just,
so I guess when Cat Williams did it, they added the whole pimp twist to that character, which was actually a better decision and made it funnier. Because ain't no way in the hell I could have executed that role like that, and I'm glad that they made that decision and they put me in a Santa Claus role, which was actually perfect. So when I got back to LA, they said, hey, your role has changed. You're going to be the Santa Claus, and here's the Santa Claus suit. Put it on, and here's your line.
So low-key Cat was right. As far as like, Cat Williams said he made the role into what it became, which we all know is an iconic role where he plays the pimp. But apparently the role wasn't supposed to be a pimp. So Cat Williams in the interview does say that he changed it a little bit to make it funny. He told the people he made. So in that regards, they both agree. Also, my boy Rickey is also admitting to it, like, bro, I did try out for it, which is, you know what I'm saying? So.
Sat in the trailer, went over the lines, went over my stuff with Cube, and the rest is history. Had no reason. I just want to clarify that. Had no reason to lie about that. As a matter of fact, my manager at the time, Gary Abdo, who is still one of my best friends, who also helped start my career, and he's the owner of the Atlanta Comedy Theater in Atlanta. We got him on the phone. Just to clarify, Gary Abdo, good morning.
Good morning, Rickey. How are you, my friend?
Oh, I'm good, man. Just for clarification, you was my manager at the time. We went to LA together for the audition. Cube wanted to see us. What is your version?
Yeah, well, we're old, and that was 23 years ago. So, our memories are what our memories are. You went out, you auditioned, They wanted you to play Money Mike. That was the sides that they had sent. The sides are the portion of the script for the part they want you to play. Those were the sides they sent. That was the audition you did. They said, great, we want you to play this role. My recollection is you had to go back and read for...
I like how they do that, because that's the second time the guy that came on said, my recollection is, meaning this is how I remember it. Because clearly everybody's remembering it wrong. It's remembering it from their own perspective. Because Cat is saying he remembers it this way. Rickey's saying he remembers it this way. This guy, since he's in the middle and he's somebody's witness, he's like, hey man, this is how I remember specifically, right? But no one is saying nothing contrary to like what has been said. So that they're kind of agreeing with Cat as far as like, yeah, I tried off with it, but you got it. The only thing with Cat is saying that whenever Rickey Smiley went on the Club Shay Shays the first time, he was saying that was supposed to be his role, which in reality kind of was, because he tried out for it and he got it. But once they saw Cat Williams do it better, which is also what Cat Williams said, they saw that he could, make it funnier. So now they gave it to Cat Williams. So I don't know. I guess we know what it probably is. Cat probably has some issues with Rickey Smiley already, to where it's like, if you just mention my name, if you just mention anything with me, if you just sniff or whisper or anything with me, I'm coming for you. Because no one is saying anything contrary to what Cat Williams said or what to Rickey Smiley said the first time. It's just such that as grown-ups, people act like this.
One final time. And the night before that, we got different sides, and they said, no, we want you to play this role. And we didn't understand it. We really were under the impression, well, you had the role as Money Mike, but then all of a sudden they switched it up. Now we understand why. Cat came in, blew them away. He's an incredible performer. That was probably one of the most iconic breakout parts in movie history. I mean, that
Absolutely.
was literally Cat's first movie. Friday was not Chris Tucker's first movie. Next Friday was not Mike Epps' first movie. For that to have been Cat Williams' first movie, and he exploded. I mean, that literally made him an iconic touring comedian, one of the biggest to do it in this generation. And, the rest, as they say, was history. But, yeah, absolutely, without a doubt, you were auditioning for Money Mike. We were told you had the role, and then that switched up overnight.
And I'm glad I ended up being the Santa Claus, because that role was iconic and not as funny as his. I like the pimp. I personally like the pimp better, but the Santa Claus role was just perfect for me. At the time, I was skinny and could run fast, so
and you could squeeze over that gate. So yeah, that
right.
was the.
I just wanted to clarify that, and then there was no contract ever that.
All right, this is the part where we get into what he talks about, where Cat Williams talked about specifically putting in his contract where anytime he works with Rickey Smiley has to wear a dress. This is his response to that.
In agreement with the first Sunday movie, because that was a whole different production, directed by who just directed my Netflix special, David E. Talbert, about me playing Bernice Jenkins. That's something that David called me personally. David and Lynn are fans and have been fans of my work for a long time, and it was like, we want you to play Bernice Jenkins, and and here you go, and that's what happened.
He kind of didn't really. He should have went in a little bit deeper, because yes, the director or the producer or whoever David E. Tolbert might have called you, but maybe he might have called you after speaking with Cat Williams. And probably Cat Williams was like, hey man, I'm gonna be honest with you, whatever. If I work with this guy, or they already seen this contract, and it was like, okay, well, since we about to get him and we need him, let's make him play this role. So he's not really that one is like maybe Cat's contract had something to do with that. Because since he's just saying, oh, well, the guy just called me. Yeah, of course he called you. He wants you to work with him. But did he call you first? Or did he call you after he spoke to Cat Williams or after he had Cat Williams sign on? Because if he got Cat Williams to sign on first and then he called you, clearly he's seeing Cat Williams' contract. And his Cat Williams' contract might say this. Now, do I believe... I mean, I feel like nobody got a reason to lie. Right? But that's just I don't know.
I went out there and shot that in one day, me and Red Grant, and that was a lot of fun.
Right.
And it had nothing to do with Cat Williams' contract or whatever. So you know what I'm saying? Like, I respect Cat. Definitely disappointed that you have to get on the air and explain something like this, but.
Cleared up the first half as far as like the role for the pimp. That's cleared up. The second half, we're kind of blurry on it still. Sorry, my nose is stuffy. We're kind of blurry on it still, but hey, man, we will never know because, like they always say, there's his side, and the truth. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Got a lot more content dropping for y'all this year. Make sure you follow the podcast. Well, make sure you follow this channel to watch more of the podcast. As that grows, we'll make its own channel, Purely Talk Podcast. Thank y'all. Stay tuned and peace and love, baby.